You will now have 4 minutes to read your prepared testimony. Timekeeper, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Awesome. You may begin.
Hey, as we prepare to contribute more to the world, what holds greater significance to you? Our individual rights or the common good? I believe that the common good is more important. This concept of the common good revolves around promoting the well-being of all individuals, including aspects of public health and environmental conservation. For instance, during the pandemic, the government funds are often allocated towards developing vaccines to benefit the larger population.
To add on to Ari, individual rights encompass important civil liberties such as freedom of speech, religion, and expression. While individual rights are undoubtedly important, I agree with Ari's perspective that prioritizing the common good holds greater significance.
I also think that the common good is more important. An example is when at an airport, individuals willingly surrender their Fourth Amendment rights, which pertain to privacy by consenting to security checks on their luggage to ensure safety of all passengers.
Let's hear about current times, but what about historical times? In historical times, I'll say that individual rights are more important. Because as our country is newly formed, not everybody is treated fairly. Many people are still fighting for their civil rights, making the attainment of their individual rights more pressing matter.
So, how can we help people still fighting for their civil rights?
In history, people employed various nonviolent methods to advocate for their rights, such as sit-ins and boycotts. An example is the famous bus boycott initiated by Rosa Parks in 1955. Additionally, numerous individuals protested against the discrimination faced by Black people during that period of time.
In the past, many individuals were denied equal rights. While many may take the rights for granted today, it is important to remember that less than a century ago, women did not have the right to vote. Women like Susan B. Anthony led marches, protests, and campaigns to secure voting rights for women.
In such protests, freedom of speech is very important. How has the interpretation of the First Amendment changed over time?
Initially, the First Amendment's primary focus was on freedom of speech. However, as time passed, the amendment has expanded to encompass numerous other more important topics.
Initially, the First Amendment aimed to safeguard speech from government censorship. This ensured that students could express themselves freely in schools while also seeking to prevent disruption.
To add on to Kaylee and Leo, recently the United States have been fighting with social media platforms like TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter due to concerns about inappropriate content and the use of curse words in posts. With media platforms that are seeming to be focused on the wrong content, does anyone have any suggestions on how to stay updated and informed?
To stay informed, you can explore various sources like reading the news or watching news. However, it is important to ensure that these sources are unbiased and reliable. Another way is to attend speeches given by government officials where you can hear directly from them about their plans and policies.
You could also look at what the candidates' opinions are on different topics that are more important to you, such as looking at what they're planning to change if they get elected to that position.
Building on to Leah and Kelly's suggestions, there are additional ways to stay informed about government and community issues. Participating in one local community event or visiting historical sites and museums can provide valuable insights to the past and present of government mentioned as the 2012 article, Historic Home Contest Winners and Runners-Up.
We are Team Liberty, and thank you for listening.
Great job, Team Liberty. You will now have 6 minutes to answer some follow-up questions. Are we ready? All right, awesome.
All right. Do you think that every citizen should be required to participate in his or her government?
I believe that every citizen over the age of 18 should be required to participate in their government, whether through voting or participating in community activities. By collaborating, individuals can influence the outcome of crucial roles. Influence the outcome of elections for crucial roles such as mayor. For instance, during the aftermath of Hurricane Harvey in 2017, John Brown exemplified the power of collective action by navigating flooded streets in his 16-foot fishing boat, rescuing survivors. This event underscores the remarkable achievements possible when people unite towards a common goal.
I respectfully disagree with Jonathan. I do not think that citizens should be forced to participate in his or her government. If
Additionally, some individuals may have constraints on their time that prevent them from participating fully.
How can people participate in government?
There are numerous means through which individuals can engage with their government, such as voting in elections, expressing their opinions by writing to government officials, and contributing to causes they support through donations.
Adding on to Arthur, here are some other ways individuals can engage with the government. If you strongly believe in your opinions, you can apply for a position in the government to directly influence decision-making processes. Furthermore, volunteering at voting booths at elections is another impactful way to contribute to the democratic process and ensure its integrity.
Great. If you could create a new amendment to protect the rights of people, what would it be and why?
If given the opportunity to enact a new amendment, I would propose the prohibition of plastic bags in stores. Plastic bags pose a significant threat to the environment, often ending up in landfills where they contribute to pollution. Many households already possess reusable fabric bags, providing a sustainable alternative to single-use plastic bags.
I agree with Finn. We should advocate for the ban of plastic bags due to their impact on the environment, as Finn stated. With the commonness of fabric bags in most households, there is ample reason to not support the ban of plastic bags.
I agree with Finn and Leah's perspective on plastic bags. Plastic bags represent a significant waste of resources and may inflict harm upon the environment.
I respectfully disagree with Jonathan. Finn, I respect your opinion, but if I were to propose a new amendment, it would be prohibiting the use of tobacco and vape products, along with illegalizing drugs that have no medical purposes.
I respectfully disagree with him. We would be hesitant to support the banning of tobacco and vape products, because then it would significantly impact the lives of many individuals who rely on them. And enforcing such a law might prove challenging, as it's uncertain how many people would comply with it.
Alright. Do you think that Washington, D.C. or Puerto Rico should be granted statehood? Why or why not?
I believe that granting statehood to Puerto Rico or Washington, D.C. may not be the best solution. Instead, I propose integrating Puerto Rico with a neighboring state, considering its proximity. Similarly, Washington, D.C. could be added to Maryland or Virginia, as it seems odd for the U.S. capital to not be a state.
I respectfully agree with Ari. Washington, D.C. and Puerto Rico shouldn't become separate states, but rather integrated into existing states. I suggest Puerto Rico be merged with Florida, considering its close proximity with the states.
Are there times when freedom of expression should be limited? Why or why not?
I believe that there are times when freedom of speech should be restricted, particularly when it involves expressing anger, making rude or inappropriate gestures, or attempting physical harm against someone.
I respectfully disagree with Ari. I strongly believe that everyone should have the freedom to express themselves without fear of judgment or limitations imposed upon them.
I mostly agree with Finn, because I don't think a person's freedom of speech should be revoked simply because they're angry or lose their temper. However, if someone abuses their rights and engages in inappropriate behavior, there should be consequences.
All right. What can citizens do to change a law they think is unfair?
Citizens have the option to directly address their grievance to the government by studying educate, stating why they believe a law to be unjust or flawed. Additionally, they can rally support by organizing protests alongside like-minded individuals who share similar opinions.
I mostly agree with Kaylee. I am of the opinion that citizens should only protest against laws unless if they're generally discriminatory or causing harm to its individuals. Otherwise, I share Kaylee's viewpoint.
Alright, and why is freedom of the press important?
I believe that freedom of the press is crucial because it ensures that important topics which the government might not want to disclose are brought to the public's awareness. This freedom enables newspapers to play a vital role in keeping people informed and engaged. What are your thoughts on this one?
I believe that the freedom of the press is essential because it empowers journalists to cover topics and inspire positive actions and contribute to the greater good. The press has the capacity to shed light on issues that the government may not disclose to the public on a broad scale.
All All right. Wow. All right. Thank you so much, Team Liberty. We would like to provide you with some feedback on how you just did.
You guys did an amazing job. I love how you were able to take each other's ideas and build your own opinions and use each other's thoughts as evidence. Kaylee, I noticed you did that with Ari and Finn. You used their examples and you were able to create your own idea through that. Jonathan, I also like how you really you used current events as examples, specifically with the vaccination. That was really nice to hear.
All right, Arthur, I appreciated that you raised that not all people are treated fairly even today and are still fighting for civil rights. I also liked your suggestion about visiting historical sites and museums. That's something I hadn't heard anybody else mention before, so that's awesome. Jonathan, I liked how you brought in two things you were talking about what you thought people over 18 should participate in, both voting and community activities, and I thought that was really great. Also talking about volunteering with voting. You know, you could volunteer as a co-worker when you're 16, so it's very, not too far away for you guys. Ari, I liked that you brought up how the common good encompasses well-being of all people, and mentioned two things specifically that would be really hard to do individually: public health and the environment. How we need to work together on those. I like that you talked about making sure that your news is unbiased and reliable, and also hearing directly from leaders. I think is so important. I think a lot of people don't do that today, but it's a very important thing. And Kaylee, I like that you talked about learning about candidates' opinions. There's a lot of opportunities to do that people don't avail themselves of, so that's fantastic. And Finn, I like how you raised about women not being able to vote until a relatively recent time. I mean, my grandmother was born the year that amendment passed. So people that your lives have overlapped with were around at that time. So very good.
Excellent. You guys did a fabulous job. I concur with my other judges and the feedback that they just gave you. So I'll just kind of give you some general feedback for your whole group. You clearly have worked very hard. You have learned a ton of information both about our past and then how it applies today, which is so important. You clearly worked very well as a team. You had great eye contact. Your voices were clear. It was very easy to hear what you were saying. And I loved how you respectfully disagreed with your colleagues, or you said, oh no, I actually do agree with Ben, or whoever. So great job all around, and we just learned a ton, so thank you for that.